Acts chapter 1 is this point in the story of Jesus' ministry where he looks at his disciples and he's risen from the dead. He's been with them for 40 days and he orders them. He commands them, it says, I want you to remain here until you receive the promise that I've given. It's such an odd thing. They're motivated, they love him, they care about him, and he has to order them to remain. And they end up waiting 11 days for the promise to be delivered. That must have seemed like forever with 120 people in tight, compact quarters. But they began to share, they began to talk, they began to remember. And as they prayed, God did something special, getting them ready for a gift that they never could have imagined. They had no idea of knowing how it was really going to change their lives. They had a promise that Jesus had talked about earlier. John records it in John 16:7. Nevertheless, Jesus said, I tell you the truth, it is to your advantage that I go away. To your advantage. It's going to be better that I'm not here physically because I'll give my spirit. And he says, for if I do not go away, the helper will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you. A helper, a personal helper for every single person. That there's something that happens when we wait on God and we don't go out in our own strength and we trust him. We learn to hear his voice. We unify with other believers and we see God work in amazing ways. Those disciples must have thought that surely with Jesus gone, they'd seen their best days. That can happen with us too in our careers, our empty nest, the next chapter, getting older. But the reality is that Jesus looks at them all of every age and he says, I have a promise for you. Don't go anywhere. And I just have to tell you that I believe no matter what their age was, young or old, that they said when Jesus fulfilled his promise, it was the best day of their lives. They went out full of the Holy Spirit, not living any longer in their own strength. And every day became a new adventure as they saw God work in ways that they never dreamed were possible. If we would wait upon the Holy Spirit, learn to cultivate his voice, practice trusting his will for us, what might he do in our lives? That same Spirit that was poured out at Pentecost, that same Spirit given to us at salvation, what might happen in our lives if we gave ourselves fully to him as he has offered to give himself fully to us? May that be so in our lives today. May we trust him, may we give him our time, and may we see him work in our lives, realizing that with Jesus and his Holy Spirit, the best is always yet to come. I'm Pastor Tim. God bless you.